Good morning everyone. So in this video, we are going to cover current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now let's start. Which country is to send its expert teams to United Nations missions to help Congo and South Sudan fight COVID-19? So this is India. So India is going to send its teams to help Congo and South Sudan to fight COVID-19. Now, Congo and South Sudan are the countries of Africa. This is South Sudan and this is Congo, that is DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. The capital of DRC is Kinshasa. Capital of South Sudan is Juba. Now, if we talk about United Nations, recently, United Nations Security Council unanimously approved a resolution to cut the peacekeeping forces in Lebanon, and this resolution was drafted by France. One more resolution was in news recently, and it was drafted by Indonesia, and this resolution was co-sponsored by India, and this resolution was regarding participation of more women in the peacekeeping missions. Now coming back to Lebanon, Lebanon was also in news because of Bisri Dam. So recently World Bank cancelled the funding for this dam project in Lebanon. Lebanon was also in news because of blast, and it is related to Beirut. Beirut is the capital of Lebanon. Next question is, which country has appointed the former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott as trade advisor? So he has been appointed as the trade advisor by UK. Recently, UK was also in news because of Global Vaccine Summit. UK was also in news because of COP26, as COP26 is going to be in Glasgow in UK. COP25th, that is Conference of Party number 25th, held in Spain in Madrid, and this Conference of Parties is related to UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. UK was also in news because of Noor Inayat Khan, as Noor Inayat Khan became the first Indian origin woman to be honored with a blue plaque in UK. UK was also in news because of Five Eyes Alliance. Now answer in comment box, what is this Five Eyes Alliance? Next question is, what is the name of petitioner in the landmark judgment of Supreme Court on the basic structure doctrine of our constitution? The petitioner passed away recently. So his name was Keshwanand Bharti. He passed away recently, and he was the chief pontiff of Adnir Mutt, and this Adnir Mutt is in Kasaragod district of Kerala. Now, he had challenged the Kerala government's Land Reforms Act of 1969, and later Supreme Court passed a landmark judgment in Keshwanand Bharti versus State of Kerala, and this is a judgment of Basic Structure Doctrine. What does this mean? It means the Supreme Court in this judgment said that Parliament can change the constitution, but the basic structure should be intact. It cannot be changed. It is important to note that in this case, there was a 13-judge bench. One more important point is that the cases which involve the interpretation of the constitution are decided by at least a 5-judge bench. Next question is, what is the name of typhoon that has hit Japan and is approaching South Korea? So the name of typhoon is Icici. Now, typhoon, hurricane, cyclones, all are similar weather phenomena, but these are different terms used in different areas. For example, hurricane is used in Pacific and Atlantic areas, cyclone term is used in Indian Ocean, and typhoon term is used in the South China Sea area. Now, coming back to Japan. So the cyclone has hit Japan. Recently, Japan was also in news because of SCRI, that is Supply Chain Resilience Initiative. Japan was also in news because of Mission Purvodaya. It was also in news because of 2+2 dialogue, as India have 2+2 ministerial level dialogue with US, Japan and Australia. It was also in news as recently Prime Minister Shinzo Abe resigned recently. Japan was also in news because of ODA. What is ODA? It is Official Development Assistance. And recently, Japan decided to provide the assistance of ₹3,500 crore rupees to India as its response to COVID-19 pandemic. Next question is, the Vice President of India has suggested to include which food product in the midday meal scheme? So it is milk. Now coming back to this midday meal scheme, so it is centrally sponsored scheme and it is a scheme to provide the food to the school students. So this scheme has two key objectives. First, to tackle the problem of malnutrition. Second objective of the scheme is to improve enrollment. How it is going to help in increasing enrollment? See, if regular food will be provided in schools, it will act as an incentive for students to go to school regularly. Now, this midday meal scheme is implemented by MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development. Now it has been renamed as Ministry of Education. Now there is a term centrally sponsored scheme. Answer in comment box what is the difference between centrally sponsored scheme and central sector scheme. Next question is, which organization is to organize the first ever World Solar Technology Summit? So this will be organized by ISA, that is International Solar Alliance. Recently ISA was also in news, as now all the members of United Nations can join ISA even if they are beyond tropics, that means beyond the tropics of Cancer and beyond the tropics of Capricorn. The headquarters of ISA is in Gurugram in Haryana. Recently, few other events were also related to the solar sector. So, recently, world's largest solar tree was developed and it was installed in Durgapur in West Bengal. Apart from that, as per Marcom Capital, Adani Green Energy Limited is the biggest solar power generation company of the world. Next question is, the first ever cannabis medicine project is to be set up in which state or union territory? So this is the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and this will be set up at IIIM in Jammu. Now this IIIM stands for Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, and this project will be established in collaboration with Canada. Now Jammu and Kashmir was also in news, as recently Mr. Manoj Sinha was appointed as new LG, that is Lieutenant Governor. Previous LG was GC Murmu. Now he has been appointed as CAG, that is Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Now Jammu and Kashmir was also in news, as recently it launched e-auction portal for the Kashmir saffron. Iran is the largest producer of saffron. Jammu and Kashmir was also in news because of Project Sparrow. It is online appraisal system for the officers in Jammu and Kashmir. Next question is, the annual IndoPacific Business Forum is to be held in which country? So this is going to be in Vietnam. Capital of Vietnam is Hanoi, and USA will sponsor this forum. Now Vietnam was also in news, as it is the chair of ASEAN for this year. ASEAN is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Total 10 countries are the members of ASEAN. These are BPLTV, MMICS. The Secretariat of ASEAN is in Jakarta. Jakarta is in Indonesia. ASEAN was established in 1967. It was established through Bangkok Declaration. Next question is, researchers of which organization have developed diagnostic therapy lung candidate for lung cancer? So this has been developed by JNC-ASR, that is Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research. Now this Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research is autonomous institute under DST, that is Department of Science and Technology, and it has developed diagnostic therapy drug candidate for lung cancer. Now DST was also in news because of Yash. It was also in news because of Kavach. It was also in news because of Sahyog. So please read about these initiatives. Next question is, the program Khadi Agarbatti Atmanirbhar Mission is to be implemented by which union ministry? So it is to be implemented by Ministry of MSME. So this is to support the local agarbatti industry in our country. Now recently MSME sector was also in news, as government launched Champions Portal for MSME sector. Apart from that, recently SIDBI and TransUnion launched MSME Shaksham for the MSME sector. In addition to that, the sector was also in news because of two more initiatives. One is MSME Sambandh and second initiative is Udyam Sakhi. So Udyam Sakhi is initiative of MSME Ministry to encourage the women entrepreneurs. On the other hand, MSME Sambandh is a portal to ensure the implementation of public procurement policy for MSME sector. Next question is, as per IAEA, which country is alleged to have stockpile of enriched uranium 10 times more than the permitted limit under international agreement? So this country is Iran. International agreement was JCPOA, that is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. It is informally known as Iran Nuclear Deal. Now Iran was also in news because of Instex. It was also in news because of Noor. It was also in news because of Tomman and because of Chahabar port. Now coming back to IAEA. What is IAEA? It is International Atomic Energy Agency. The headquarters is in Vienna in Austria. In fact, the headquarters of OPEC, that is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, is also in Vienna in Austria. Next question is, which state has announced a policy for electronics and hardware manufacturing? So this was announced by Tamil Nadu. Now Tamil Nadu was also in news because of Sterlite copper plant. So this copper plant is in Thothukudi in Tamil Nadu, and this was closed on the grounds of pollution, and this plant is associated to Vedanta Limited. So the company approached Madras High Court. However, Madras High Court refused to allow the reopening of plant. Tamil Nadu was also in news because of M. Veera Lakshmi. M. Veera Lakshmi became the first Indian woman ambulance driver. So these were the most important questions of today's quiz. Now we are going to cover important news. Feel free to skip it if you do not like the format, but make sure you cover these events. First news is related to KV Kamath Committee. So this committee was constituted by RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. This committee was constituted to give recommendation on the financial parameter and on the sectors that are to be focused for one-time restructuring of loans impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. So important points are what sectors should be considered for the restructuring of loan which are impacted by COVID-19. Now please read about what is the meaning of loan restructuring, what is the meaning of prompt corrective action, what is the meaning of special mention account. Next is Air Suvidha portal. So recently this portal has been launched and it has been developed by DIAL, that is Delhi International Airport Limited, and this has been launched in collaboration with Ministry of Civil Aviation and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So this will provide a contactless service to the international flyers. Name of the portal is Air Suvidha portal. Next is Aditya Birla Idea Payment Bank. So recently it was in news because RBI announced that this payment bank has ceased to be a banking company under Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Please note that now it is no longer a payment bank. Next is draft guideline for advertisements. Recently these guidelines were released by Ministry of Consumer Affairs, and these guidelines have been prepared by CCPA. What is CCPA? It is Central Consumer Protection Authority, and this authority is under Consumer Protection Act of 2019, and this act became effective recently. And to be specific, it became effective from 20th of July this year. Next is Multidimensional Poverty Index Coordination Committee. So this is a committee which has been constituted by Niti Aayog, and this committee is to be headed by Sanyukta Samdar. So the committee will focus on the multidimensional factors related to poverty. Now in this context, there is an index also, and it is Global Multidimensional Poverty Index. And as per this index, India is on 62nd position. Next is Kifayati LED Bulb Yojana. So this is a scheme for LED bulbs and it has been launched by Punjab. So the idea is to provide viable power solutions to the people from BPL families, that is below poverty line, people from SC and backward class. Next is Pashu Sanjeevani. So this is animal ambulance service which has been launched in Mysuru in Karnataka. Next is Kerala's first open university. So this open university is going to be set up in Kollam, and this is going to be Kerala's first open university, and it will be named after Sri Narayan Guru, and it will come into existence on 2nd of October. 2nd of October is celebrated as Gandhi Jayanti. Next is Randy Smallwood. So Randy Smallwood has been named as the new chairperson of World Gold Council. The headquarters of World Gold Council is in London in UK. Next is Lisa Campbell. So recently Lisa Campbell was in news as she became the first woman to head Canadian Space Agency. Next is Fortune 40 under 40. So it is a list of influential individuals who are below 40, and Recently this was released, and in this list few Indians are mentioned. These are Isha and Akash Ambani. So these are related to Ambani family and related to Reliance Jio. Next is Baiju Ravindran. So he is related to Baiju, it is EdTech company. Next is Adar Poonawalla. So he is related to SII, that is Serum Institute of India. Next news is related to Global Aerospace Summit. So the summit is going to be in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is in UAE, and Abu Dhabi is the capital of UAE, while Dubai is the most populous city of UAE. Recently Dubai was also in news because of its Retire in Dubai scheme. Next is 8th of September, so it is celebrated as International Literacy Day. Next is sanitization on one call service. So this initiative has been launched by Lucknow administration. That means now whenever a person tests COVID-19 positive in Lucknow, you just need to call the helpline number and they will sanitize the area on the basis of that one code. Next is Standard Chartered. So recently it was in news because Enforcement Directorate, that is ED, imposed a fine of rupee 100 crore for breaking the forex rules, and it is related to the deal of Standard Chartered in the context of Tamil Nadu Bank. So as per Enforcement Directorate, Standard Chartered has violated the FEMA, that is Foreign Exchange Management Act rules, and that is why a penalty of 100 crores was imposed on it. Next is COVID-19 Vijay Rath. So recently Gujarat Chief Minister flagged off this Vijay Rath, and the idea behind this Vijay Rath is to spread awareness about COVID-19. Next is Govind Swarup. So recently Govind Swarup passed away. Now why he is important? Because he is considered as father of India's radio astronomy. So that is why he is significant. He passed away recently. Next is Silver Lake. So recently Silver Lake invested in Baiju. Silver Lake was also in news because of its investment in Reliance Jio. Next is ITBP. So recently ITBP, that is Indo-Tibet Border Police, was in news because for the first time it has sent female doctors to the forward locations in Ladakh. So key points are, for the first time it has sent female doctors to the forward locations in Ladakh. ITBP is CAPF, that is Central Armed Police Force. It is under MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Next is National Immunogenicity and Biologics Evaluation Center. So recently DBT Secretary, that is Department of Biotechnology Secretary, inaugurated this center. Next is Tencent. So Tencent was in news because of PUBG, and Tencent is a publisher of mobile version of PUBG. Now it is important to note that this mobile version is a part of PUBG. This PUBG is the intellectual property of PUBG Corporation, and it is a subsidiary of a South Korean firm, Bluehole. So in simplest term, the South Korean firm Bluehole is the owner of this PUBG game, and the mobile version is published by Tencent. Tencent is a Chinese company. Now recently India banned 118 mobile applications, and PUBG Mobile was one of them. So now the South Korean company has said that they are planning to drop Tencent as a publisher of mobile version in India. This was the entire issue. Next is Dr. Neena Malhotra. So recently she was appointed as the India's ambassador to Italy. And last news is ICICI Vodafone case. So please read about it. It was in news because of the recent arrest of Mr. Deepak Kochhar. So that was all for the day. Now homework. First read about this ICICI Vodafone issue. Second read about Project Dolphin. And third, please read about Yanomami tribe. So that was all for the day. Thank you.